I left my husband the day after our youngest moved out. He says I've deceived him all these years. My husband cheated on me. It was 10 years ago when I got a call from school saying that our youngest, then 9, was sick and needed to go home. When we arrived, I heard them in our bedroom. I panicked and made loud noises to let them know they weren't alone and that our daughter was with me. I'm crying just writing this. I still cry whenever I remember that day. The first year after that was the hardest on me. I felt so insignificant and inadequate, ugly and undesirably. We started therapy, and my husband promised to do anything to make it work again. We moved apartments and bought new furniture, and I started a new habit of changing the sheets every night before bed. All of this wasn't as effective as that one morning when I woke up and realized that I wasn't in love with my husband anymore. After this realization, everything seemed easier moving forward. I saw him as a roommate and a great support raising the children, a good friend. We love our children, and we wanted the best for them. For these next 10 years, we hardly ever fought, and we raised 3 beautiful, happy, and successful young people. When I realized that I didn't love him anymore, I also stopped caring what if he did it again. It was one of my nightmares in the beginning. I didn't care anymore, as long as I slept in clean sheets every night. Around Christmas, our youngest daughter, who is now 19, got her first contract for her own apartment. That's when I knew that I was free. I also set in motion my plans of moving out and getting my divorce. I found myself an apartment too, and I thought my husband can live in our apartment until we settled everything up. When I told him and handed him the divorce papers, he was in shock, and when I moved out the day after my daughter, on April 2, he was even more shocked and distraught. Now he is telling me that I have deceived him all these years, acting like I was fine when I wasn't, while he lived in regret every day for how he hurt me. I am cold and calculated, and I am vindictive. I don't recognize any of these accusations. I don't see things that way. I saw it as me, and him of course, doing the best with what I was dealt to make a happy and content life for our children, our whole family really, and I think that I succeeded. What more could anyone ask of me? Yes, we still had sex. It started again 2-3 years later. We used protection because I wouldn't let him touch me without. I said we hardly ever fought, but if we did, it was about sex and the condoms. Also, it went from 2-3 times a week to 2-3 times a year. In my mind, if he cheated when we were very intimate and active, he was probably cheating now. It bothered me less and less with years. I don't know how long they were sleeping together. I don't know who she was. I never wanted to know, I just saw her once. And that was the only thing I didn't want to know in therapy. I don't know if he still slept with her or others. I just assumed he did because it was easier for me to expect the worst. I never said love you to him again, something we used to say often before. He continued saying it and always told me that he would wait for me to say it back. I didn't need to leave to find happiness sooner. I was happy and lucky having my children and my home. I didn't need more, but now I see no reason or happiness in staying. I never did what I did to get back at him or to get revenge. My children know I have left. They are sad, but my reason was good enough. I was out of love with him. They don't know the details, and we are keeping it this way. They don't need to know anything. No, I don't change my bedding every night now. I have no need.